These are your evening headlines for January 20th, 2026, right here on BYU-Idaho Radio. Thanks for joining me today. I'm Kimber Pierce. With the votes tied up, Sugar City Mayor Stephen Adams broke the tie following a city council vote on increasing the city's wastewater rates by 6% during a recent city council meeting. According to the Rexburg Standard-Journal, Adams broke the tie, voting in favor of the increase, meaning Sugar City residents will see their sewer rates increase by 25 cents a month. Wastewater rates will go from $4.22 a month to $4.47, but the base rate of $26.40 a month will stay the same. Sugar City relies on Rexburg's wastewater plant. Earlier this month, Rexburg raised its sewer rates and is now passing its increase along to both Sugar City and Teton. Rexburg is expected to raise its rates at least 2 more times in the upcoming years. At one point, Sugar City applied for a study to see if it was possible to build its own wastewater facility, but has yet to be approved for the study. Adams said if the council didn't approve the increase, Rexburg would still charge the extra amount and Sugar City would be forced to pay the difference somehow. Sugar City residents will see their wastewater costs increase in their February utility bills. For more information on the increase, you can call the city at 208-356-7561. An Idaho Falls landlord is facing aggravated battery charges after her tenant says she hit him with a hammer while he was in bed. According to court documents obtained by EastIdahoNews.com, officers with the Idaho Falls Police Department responded to a 911 call at around 4 a.m. The caller said he had been hit in the head with a hammer. When officers got there, they found the caller on the porch of the Idaho Falls home where he was seen holding the back of his head. The man had suffered a small cut on the back of his head and bruising on the left side of his head. The man said officers left the home earlier that night over an incident with his landlord, 49-year-old Rebecca Lee Taylor, who had become upset, believing she could kick him out at any time. The man claimed Taylor had entered his room with a hammer and threatened to kill him. He said she walked toward him with the hammer while he was still in bed. The two fought over control of the hammer, but he reported that Taylor hit him 2 or 3 times with the hammer. After hitting him, Taylor left the room, giving the man time to call 911. He said he never struck Taylor and just fought for control of the hammer. Taylor told officers the tenant was verbally abusing her, and she went to his room with a hammer to force him to leave. Court documents also state Taylor alleged the tenant struck her before she went into the room with the hammer. Taylor said he punched her and placed his forearm across her throat, which prompted her to hit him with the hammer. The officer said Taylor had a cut on her left forearm and her neck was red. Taylor was placed under arrest for 1 felony count of aggravated battery and booked into the Bonneville County Jail. She is scheduled to appear before a judge on January 30th. In her devotional talk titled Washing Their Nets, Sister Jennifer Platt, the Associate Department Chair of Religious Education at BYU-Idaho, shared a story of Peter laboring as a fisherman to answer the question of how we can find purpose and significance in the simple things when we are caught in a mundane cycle of everyday life.
Peter was going about the everyday work of fishing. It was important work, even if it seemed ordinary. Cleaning the nets so that they would stay strong and clear, untangled and ready to catch fish. Can you picture the scene? His likely weathered hands picking out seaweed and bits of debris, exhausted from a discouraging night, he persisted in the necessary cleanup of a fisherman's life. Maybe because he knew just how important it was to have a net cleaned and ready when the time came.
Sister Platt taught in her devotional that it is through this ordinary or mundane work that the Lord prepares people to be better disciples.
I wonder where you see yourself in Peter's experience. Maybe you're tending to nets, doing necessary but ordinary, repetitive work. Maybe you're pulling an all-nighter, trying to get something done with seemingly no success. Maybe you're feeling inadequate for what's being asked, yet still willing to try, nevertheless. When we recognize ourselves in Peter, it becomes easier to recognize the Savior inviting us personally to follow him.
You can listen to our full interview with Sister Platt on our BYU-Idaho Radio podcast feed, where we also have her devotional. These have been your BYU-Idaho Radio evening headlines for January 20th, 2026. Thanks for tuning in. More news, interviews, and great content are available on our podcast feed. Search for BYU-Idaho Radio on your favorite podcast apps. We're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, and more. For BYU-Idaho Radio, I'm Kimber Pierce.